Hey guys, Atreyu is back, and believe it or not, I recorded a video almost, because it's 5:39 p.m. now, almost, actually it's been longer than 12 hours ago. Early this morning, I was outside braving the freaking cold weather. It's like 20 degrees and I was freezing, but I thought it would be a good idea to add this part to the video to really drive home my point about how we have come together as a solid, united Lock community. So what I want to do is I'm going to read some of the comments that people left under my Natural Nirvana's decision to comb out her locks in the backlash Lock community meeting video, and then I will attach today's clip that I made this morning after that. Let's get to it. If you visit this video, you'll see that I have a comment, actually, a very nice lengthy comment from Natural Nirvana pinned at the top of the comment, so you can read that. But the first comment I'm going to read is from excuse me, Zen Linus. She says, I still don't understand the hateful comments. People should be able to make choices in their personal lives without being persecuted, especially when those choices don't harm others. I think she's a beautiful and strong woman, and she handled the situation very well. I couldn't agree more, Zen Linus, and I'm sure you guys know who she is. By the way, if you don't, check out her channel. Check out all these people's channels. Alright, the next one is from Joyce MD, and she just very succinctly says, great video. So I know that means that she thought that I made good points, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Joyce MD. Alright, the next one is from Angela Elaine. People be way too invested in others' journey. I get disappointed when I see my favorites cut. Some of them have some gorgeous locks, but I keep it moving and find others here to admire. I feel like that comment completely embodies Angela Elaine and just her disposition. You know, it's always like no nonsense, just straight to the point, you know. And I understand what she's saying. Like I said in that video, I have seen many a person either cut off their locks, comb off their locks, or just no longer make lock videos. And yeah, it's disappointing, but it never warrants such abusive language and such deplorable behavior, you know? Like, that's uncalled for, and it shouldn't be tolerated. Alright, this one comes from Lil Miss Freen's Lock Beauties UK. She says, I understand being disappointed, but being downright mean and nasty, I do not understand. The same thing happened when Taryn Guy started her locks and her spiritual journey. I wonder how many people would act like this in their everyday lives. Very good question. I think very few people would actually act like this in their everyday lives. Next comment comes from Justin Locs. He says, I don't know why folks react so negatively when people with dreadlocks cut them off or comb them out. Like with Lex Lanson, folks were kind of rude about it. There was a lot of people that were supportive as well too. I think people do develop an attraction to a person as a whole, including their hair. So when the hair changes drastically, it's a letdown maybe. I don't know, when I was thinking about combing out my locks, I had a few commenters say they wanted me to keep them. It's appreciative because they care and admire locks, but there's a line between admiration and coveting. Excellent point, Justin Locs. Sorry guys, I think I'm getting sick. I'm coming down with something, so my voice is a little scratchy. But yeah, he makes a great point, and there is definitely a difference, a notable difference between admiration and coveting. And yeah, you can admire without coveting what someone else has and reacting negatively when they decide to make a change. That's in their best interest. Next comment is from Dreadlock Pits. Negative energy is never warranted. If I want to unsubscribe and leave a dislike, that should be good enough, especially since she doesn't have a contract with anyone to keep her locks. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, you can, you know, unsubscribe and you can give a dislike if you want. I mean, you're entitled to that. Those options are there, right? But once again, that's definitely completely different than just having all this negative energy and spewing such negative remarks and hatred toward a person. an innocent person nonetheless. Alright, Tracy Marie says, I personally was surprised. I feel most of the hate aside from the lock takedown was from the fact that she appeared on camera after with bone straight hair. Possibly they thought it was a perm. At the end of the day, it's her hair, her choice. It's just disappointing. So yeah, Tracy Marie, I definitely understand. And as I said, you know, I was a little shocked at first because the last video, although I think she said it was like a month later, the previous video was, you know, she had her locks. She was in full hey lock lovers, lock kings and queens mode, right, with her locks. And then the next video was like with her hair straightened down. But for people who actually like took the time to watch the next video that she came out with, explaining a lot of things, not everything, she's going to be making more videos addressing a lot of points, but they would understand that, you know, a month had passed, you know. So, and there's a reason, which I mean, it doesn't matter. She's completely justified, and she was completely justified in combing out her locks. But people didn't even stop to consider that, hey, maybe there's a reason for this, you know? I thought that was really interesting. Roadrunner says, some people just need somebody to hate on. It makes them feel empowered, like they have influence. These people have self-esteem issues. I think that's definitely true for a lot of the people that spewed such hatred on Natural Nirvana. I agree. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted because I'm looking at trying to find the next comment. All right. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, but it looks like Marcia Clauselma, or maybe Marcia Clauselma. She says, I do believe you've answered your own question so well that I have nothing further to add because I agree with everything you said. I was nodding my head in agreement all the way through this video. Very well reasoned in my humble opinion. Atreyu, sir. Well, thank you. I've left words of support on both Natural Nirvana's and Joyce MD's comments section of their appropriate videos. And it wasn't an issue for me to consider whether to continue subscribing to them both or not. They're both intelligent women with intelligent content. Couldn't agree more. So although I admit as a fellow lock wearer, I watched them primarily at the beginning because they too wore locks, and I was intrigued by their individual journeys, I've grown to like them very much as individuals and find each of their content very good watching, regardless of what they have since chosen to do with their own hair. Well said. Netta21612MD says, even though Natural Nirvana decided to end her lock journey, I'm happy for her. She is an inspiration to me regardless. It was sad to see people coming for her like that, especially since they were subscribed to her. I wish her the best in her natural hair journey, as do I, Netta. Kimberly Brown says, I remember through 2004 to 2009, I was natural during college. When I got my first job after college, dental OFC, in predominantly white community area, my manager, a black woman, kept pressuring me to relax my hair. I started to think maybe my hair was inappropriate. I relaxed my hair, and a white patient was like, what did you do to your hair? It was so cool before. Long story short, 2017, 45 years old, and my hair has been natural about 2 years now. You live and learn. What I learned was never let someone influence you. Do whatever is right for you. Great video. I love that story, and I think it's so true. And it definitely goes back to what I said in the previous video. Don't remember which one at this point because I've made so many, but you can't please everyone. You will never please everyone. So what you should do is just please yourself, and not in a selfish way, but make sure that you are happy with your choices and that you can live with them. And in that way, regardless of who you don't please, you know that you've pleased yourself and you can be proud of that and you can stand by those decisions. Very good comment, Kimberly Brown. Nicole Jean said, what's sad is people who lashed out forget about how they was looked at with beginning their journey and how offensive some people's comments was towards them. So why be offensive to her that same way? Everyone's journey is different. Completely agree. One Adiva says, new Subby, you have such a calm spirit. Oh, thank you. David Ezreal Jr. says, it's just hair. I thought it was a good journey. Good and the bad. Okay. Yeah, and there are ups and downs and, you know, good times and bad times in your lock journey. Alright, Twyla Murchison says, I am only 1 month twisted, nowhere near locked. One of the first videos I came across was Natural Nirvana's, and I instantly subscribed to her channel because not only did I love her hair, but she was very informative. The other day I noticed she combed her locks out, which was surprising. But what was disappointing were the people that attacked her over her hair. I was looking forward to joining the Lock community, but decided I will take my own personal journey alone. The attack reminded me of some churches. They embrace you, love you, and then turn on you like the devil when you don't conform to their way. Sad. Completely agree, Twyla. Akaya, I always have trouble pronouncing this. Akaya Kelly says, I was shocked about her taking out her locks, but she is beautiful either way it go. It's her hair. We can do what we want with our hair. A lot of people couldn't believe I locked up, but me locking my hair was the best thing I did. Agreed. Alexandra Mahobi says, I've been wondering where you disappeared to. Then this came up in my suggestions. Love your feedback on this. I'll admit it's saddening to see people comb out their locks, but it absolutely doesn't warrant the amount of hate people gave her. Agreed. Sherry Red 01 says, you very eloquently summed up my thoughts exactly. There are so many folks hurting out here, and that put their hope and faith into the wrong things. If folks would take a step back and ask themselves if the situation at hand really affects them personally, I mean, really alters their lives in any way, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. Allowing yourself to be that consumed by anything in that way cannot be healthy. I love that YouTube gives us a community to share our experiences and thoughts, but it's just always sad and unfortunate when someone gets burned at the stake for disagreeing or doing something that the community doesn't approve of. I support everyone in their respective journey and look forward to watching. I wish I had the time and commitment to post more videos, but in the meantime, I'll continue my active viewing and commenting. Smiley face. Very nice. Marlene Mikau says, in a nutshell, people can just be lazy and can't stand their own shortcomings. So that being said, we can't take what some people say at face value. That's great. You are a good social media friend to her. I think she is gorgeous with or without her locks. Agreed. Nikki says, I felt that the comments weren't warranted. Some people are too invested in others' journeys. If you're there only for locks, then okay, move on. But to be nasty and hateful is totally inappropriate. I'm on my second lock journey, and she and Joyce MD have put out, I should say, insightful and useful content, and I will continue to be a subby. Very nice. Mabon says, great points. I support her decision for her hair. Sad to see her beautiful locks go, but it's the right decision for her. To each their own. I think many people, including myself, see Natural Nirvana as a lock crush. That's what I said in my video. Hair is hair. Maz777 Naturals says, Atreyu, you are such a sweet, humble guy. I agree with everything you say. I sent Natural Nirvana a message expressing my thoughts on that topic and to encourage her not to feel bad about cutting off her locks. I was disgusted with the comments. It just was not necessary. She's going to be blessed regardless. Locks or not, her locks were beautiful, and so is her loose natural hair. Does it change her as a person? No! Exclamation point. She's still the sweet, beautiful Natural Nirvana. Simple as that. I will still be subscribed to her channel, so all you negative people, bye. Great response, Atreyu. You're a great guy with good lock knowledge. Thanks once again for sharing. Well, thank you for the kind words, Maz777 Naturals. And yeah, couldn't agree more. Artistically Locked says, I am new to the lock community and just created a new channel on here. When I first got on here, Natural Nirvana was one of the first people that popped up. I watched just about all her videos. I found her and still do see her as a powerful black woman. She has impacted the lock community in such a huge way. She is very inspirational. It was just hurtful to see how some people base their lock journey on her own lock journey. But in the middle of the negativity, she still came out on top and stood her ground and still said, I still love all of y'all regardless of how you feel. Yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful moment, and I thought it was very classy of her. For sure, Artistically Locked. And then Natural Curls for Life says, well said. Why, thank you. So I wanted to read these comments to you guys because a lot of us, members of the lock community, felt that what happened to Natural Nirvana was unwarranted, and we spoke out against it, and some of us made a video response to it. I just want to thank you all again for being the awesome people that you are, being willing to defend Natural Nirvana, you know, knowing right from wrong and being willing to stand up and say something against it. I think we'll be able to keep our community as awesome as it is if we continue to embody these principles and these morals that so many of us have. Thank you to all the commenters. Thank you to the new subscribers. And let's hit the intro and then we'll go to this morning. Atreyu. Atreyu. Hey guys, Atreyu is back. It's like 5:15 a.m. It's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's freaking cold. And for those of you who know me, you know I like to change things up. It's been a while since I've been out in the elements like this when recording, so I thought I would do one this morning. So, I'm coming to you today to thank all of you who came out essentially in droves to comment and respond on my video that I made recently about Natural Nirvana's decision to comb out her locks and the backlash. It really touched me, it really moved me to see the community come together like it did in support of her. And you know, there are many good things about having a community, but this is definitely one of them. You know, when you have people that come for you, when you have injustice and inequity and hatred, we as a community need to come together, take a stand, and let them know that that type of behavior will not be tolerated. And so you can do that in various ways. You can say it in the comments under the video. You can do what I did and make a video response to some issue that you've seen. In my opinion, it's no different than when you're growing up in an impoverished area and there's like a lot of crime maybe, and the community members come together and they take a stand, and they themselves, they don't rely on the police a lot of times. They themselves will, you know, go out on watch or do whatever is necessary to make sure that everything is taken care of, that people are safe. And that's the way that it seems the Lock community is behaving as well. And so I love that. I love unifying things. You know, there are always going to be people that come for you. There's always going to be ignorance, hatred, negativity, vindictiveness. But I also say there are always going to be, in an outnumbered way, more people here to fight off, to ward off that type of behavior as well. And so it just really made me proud to be a part of this community when I saw just how many people were also willing to stand up and defend Natural Nirvana for her decision. So where do we go from here? Well, I would say that we should continue. We should continue doing whatever we can to embolden the Lock community. We should continue standing up for what is right. We should continue to not tolerate that type of reprehensible behavior. We should make it uncomfortable for these trollers and also for these people who flip the script on people and bully them. You know, Natural Nirvana, she used the term bullying, and I think that word is very apt. She was literally bullied in her comment section. And so I think that that's where we can go from here. We can actually take a stand and make sure that these culprits realize that we won't tolerate that and we won't take it. So for all of the new people, because I've gotten a lot of new subscribers recently, thank you and welcome to the Atreyu channel. I have tons of playlists and videos from how to make lock Tims. Yes, I'm a dude and I know how to crochet my own Tims, and I have a lot of them. As a result, I can make them whenever I want to for myself, and I encourage you to equip yourself with that knowledge so you can do it as well. I have lock care videos, so since you're here and you're subscribed, not only stay a while, but check out what I have on my channel. Also, if you have any video requests, if you have any questions that you want me to do a video for, feel free to leave a comment or message me, and I will be happy to oblige. And thank you to all of my old Sebbies. I appreciate your continued support and your presence, and I do see you. Alright, that is it for this video. Please learn to love unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. Atreyu is out.